Skin brightening is one of the biggest trends in the skincare industry right now. But what is it? Does it involve bleach? And will you come out looking like Michael Jackson? All these questions and more answered on today's episode of The Korean Beauty Show. Welcome to The Korean Beauty Show, where we're talking all things Korean skincare, makeup, and more. If you want to learn about the hottest trending products and ingredients straight from South Korea, then this is the podcast for you. Each week, we'll be diving in to take a look at the latest trends and product releases, with special guest interviews from the names behind the hottest Korean brands, as well as all the tips and tricks you need to perfect your K-beauty routine. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, professional K-beauty addict and founder of Korean beauty platform Style Story. Hi KBs, and welcome back to another episode of The Korean Beauty Show. This week we're exploring the world of whitening, aka brightening K-beauty products. But relax, because you're not going to turn out looking like Michael Jackson. If we haven't already met, then a quick introduction. I'm Lauren Lee, founder of online Korean beauty platform Style Story. I'm a Korean beauty expert and I've been working in the industry since 2013. I live in Seoul, where I help companies manufacture Korean beauty products, export them, market them, comply with cosmetic regulations, lots of different things, which we will be talking about some of those on this program. So this podcast is brought to you by Style Story for your dose of all things K-beauty. Want to shop the hottest trending K-beauty products? Head over to www.stylestory.com.au. So let's get stuck into today's skincare topic. What is skin brightening? Now, this is one of those topics that whenever I talk to people about Korean beauty, or potentially they see products that are labeled with brightening or whitening, they get really, really scared. And the reason is obviously because they're worried that it may involve bleach or something that actually changes the color of their skin. And that's obviously very controversial for a lot of reasons. So what is skin brightening? Skin brightening refers to the fading of dark spots that are caused by hyperpigmentation, sun exposure, and aging. And this is different to skin bleaching, which involves actually changing the color of the skin. So skin brightening, when it comes to Korean beauty products, just refers to the process of removing any dark marks that are on your skin. So basically anything that changes your skin color from what it originally was, either through exposure to the sun or something like that, that's what we're talking about here. So to start with, I thought it might be helpful if we actually unpack what it is that causes skin pigmentation in the first place, because that might, I guess, shed a little bit more light on what we are actually doing here when it comes to skin brightening products. So the roots of pigmentation are melanin and melanocyte. So you have probably heard of melanin before. This is the pigment that provides color to our hair, eyes, and obviously our skin. And melanin is controlled by melanocyte. So that is basically the name of the cell that manages melanin production in our skin. So melanocyte cares for melanin on the basis of things like our genetics, external factors. Sun exposure is a really big one. The sun's UV rays trigger melanocyte and it produces melanin in order to protect us from skin damage. So melanin is also produced when our skin is damaged or inflamed. So this can happen, for example, when we get acne, if we have blemishes, or if our skin is damaged just in the course of our daily lives. For example, things like burns when you're cooking, scraping your knee and stuff like that. So those kind of marks are referred to as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or sometimes colloquially as PIH. And the red ones are known as post-inflammatory erythema. So this is not really that important to, I guess, what we're going to be talking about today, but that is the science behind what we're talking about. And that is a very different prospect from something that is intended to bleach the skin, because I think probably if anyone has seen photos of Michael Jackson, you will know that Michael Jackson started out as a black man and ended up as, I'm not quite sure what, but he was not black in the end, right? That is what we're talking about when we talk about bleaching your skin. It is literally changing your race, changing your identity, changing the color of your skin. And that's really not what Korean beauty products, or in fact most products that are available over the counter, certainly not for sale in Australia, are going to be able to achieve. They don't have the ingredients in them to do that, and nor is that the point of them. So I think this is a really important distinction to make when we're talking about this topic, because it can be controversial, but what we're talking about doesn't have anything to do with that. We're talking about getting rid of spots on the skin for all intents and purposes. That's what Koreans think of when they see a product that says a whitening product. They're not thinking about bleach. They're not thinking about changing or altering, the skin color that God gave them. It is really just about getting rid of anything that's marring their normal complexion, whether that be because they've seen a little bit too much sun, whether that is because they've suffered from acne and have a few scars that are still yet to go away. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about these products. So just so that that's super clear up front, if you're interested in like bleach and all that sort of thing, I'm not the person to talk to about that because I just don't know that much about it. And it's certainly not the kind of thing that is available over the counter. You would need some sort of prescription from a doctor to get that. And I am not a doctor. So we today will be covering brightening, skin brightening, not skin bleaching. So some of the most common ingredients, certainly that I have seen on the market that reduce melanin formation, are things like hydroquinone, vitamin C, vitamin B3, which you guys might know as niacinamide, vitamin E, licorice extract, arbutin, and glycolic acid, which is a form of AHA, an alpha hydroxy acid. So a couple of things to note here. Hydroquinone has traditionally been regarded as, I guess, the most effective way to brighten the skin, but higher concentrations of it do lead to skin bleaching, which is why it is a more controversial ingredient. So currently in Australia, there are some regulations around the sale of products containing both hydroquinone and arbutin. And that is basically that formulas that contain more than 0.02% of those ingredients fall under the poison schedule. So they're prescription only medicine is what that means. And they're only allowed to be sold by pharmacists. So if you're looking for super intensive products, if you've got, some really serious pigmentation issues, you're looking at getting a script from a doctor in Australia at least, and then purchasing products from a pharmacist, which is not really what we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about skincare products. So not products that are regulated by the TGA or anything like that, but just regular skincare products. So at Style Story, we only stock products that offer safe forms of skin brightening. We do not stock any of these kind of skin bleachers or anything like that. So that's just to get that whole sort of, question mark out of the way. If you are interested in seeing the kinds of products that we stock, then I would love for you to come and join us on the Instagram. So we are at stylestory_kbeauty, and we've got lots of different things that we regularly post. We do a tip Thursday every Thursday. We have lots of skincare tips and tricks and things like that we have picked up from using lots of different products. And of course, we often introduce you guys to the newest products that are dropping and things like that. So if you are interested to know what we stock on our website, and you also like pretty pictures, then come and join us on Instagram. All right, so let's jump into some of the most common skincare ingredients that reduce melanin formation that are available without a prescription. Vitamin C. This is probably the gold standard in most skincare products, and that is because vitamin C has so many great benefits to the skin. It has antioxidant effects. It has anti-aging properties, and it has also been proven to increase collagen production. So it provides the skin with a brightening effect, and it can reduce the reduce and improve the appearance of pigmentation from both sun damage and from post-acne scars as well. So if you guys are after just a really solid ingredient, a solid product, I suppose, that is backed up by a lot of data, then vitamin C and in its purest form, which is L-ascorbic acid, is definitely, you cannot go past that. Ferulic acid is another natural ingredient, and that actually works really, really well together with vitamin C, and it can help to remove melanin. So melanin, again, is this pigment that is responsible for causing age spots, dark spots, blemishes, and imperfections. So that's what we're talking about. All of these ingredients really target the same thing, and that is melanin. So another really, really popular ingredient, and certainly a very popular one in K-beauty, is niacinamide. It's a form of vitamin B3, and it works really well for overall brightening as well as lightening of hyperpigmentation and acne. You will regularly see it in K-beauty products, and in my experience, having literally gone through hundreds, if not thousands, of ingredient lists and ingredient percentages, it is very rare to see niacinamide in anything less than a 2% concentration in most Korean beauty products. So most of them will have at least a 2%. Sometimes they have more, but 2% is like the gold standard for K-beauty. So in most products, if you see niacinamide in the formula, it's going to be at a 2% concentration. The other ingredients that are great for this type of thing are retinoids, and these are ingredients that contain high concentrations of vitamin A. Vitamin A is a great ingredient because it helps to increase the skin's cell turnover, and this can enhance your brightening results while also reducing the signs of aging. So these are the big guns of anti-aging, and so depending on the concentration in the product, again, if you are in Australia, you will be looking at a prescription, but that's not always the case. But the main reason for that is that vitamin A based products absolutely must be avoided by pregnant and breastfeeding mums because they have been proven to cause birth defects. So anyone that is familiar with common anti-acne medications, things like Roaccutane, will probably already know this. You need to sign waivers and all of this sort of thing to say that you're not going to get pregnant, that you're going to use birth control because there are known birth defects that can arise if you are taking large doses of vitamin A. So that's why, but they are quite common in a lot of skincare products, and there's lots of different forms of retinoids available as well. So that is a great ingredient to look out for if you are hoping to get rid of some pigmentation problems. Now, the last ingredient is a new one. Well, it's certainly popping up a lot at the moment in K-beauty, and that is glutathione. So this is an outstanding ingredient for minimizing and preventing dark spots on the skin. I've actually seen some studies into this, and the results in even just a 2-month period were quite amazing. They had one group of women take a placebo, and then another group actually have products that had this glutathione ingredient in them, and the results were really quite mind-boggling. So that's another ingredient to keep a lookout for if you are hoping to fade pigmentation, if you're looking for a glow-up and brightening effects. That's a really, really good one. So it is worth remembering when we're talking about any of these brightening ingredients that they're going to work differently depending on their formulation and also depending on how you use them. So some are going to be available in a serum form, others in a cream form, all of these sorts of different things. So that will have an impact on how, I guess, effective any of these are. But the most important thing that I would say, if you are looking to brighten your skin, you cannot forget to wear your sunscreen. Prolonged UV exposure can literally undo all the hard work that any of these products will do for you. So I often get questions from people saying, yeah, but do I need to wear sunscreen if I'm staying at home all day? Well, do you have windows in your house? Unless you are in prison and there's no light coming through, no UV, like maybe then you don't need SPF. But for everyone else, what is the harm in wearing it? Wear it every day, even if you don't leave your house. If you're a person with a house that has windows in it, then yes, even if you stay at home, I would implore you to please use sunscreen, because nothing will work as well no skincare product will work as well as prevention, which is the only thing that can do that is sunscreen. So sunscreen is pretty much the bare minimum that you would need to wear if you were hoping to even out your complexion. Like, that's just not a negotiable. Everyone should be wearing it every day. I know a lot of Aussies are kind of like, if I'm not at the beach, I don't need sunscreen. Wrong. That is incorrect. You do need to wear it, and preferably an SPF 50 plus as well. So I will just jump off that high horse of mine right now. But sunscreen is a must, guys. So skipping right ahead. So I'm going to take you through some of my favorite skin brightening Korean beauty products. And I will start out with toner. So Sun By Me has a really great toner that they have recently released, and it is their Galactomyces Pure Vitamin C Glow Toner. So anything with glow in the name, I'm so there. So this one actually has 88% of Galactomyces ferment filtrate, which is a great ingredient for brightening, hydrating, and smoothing skin. And they also have 1% of pure ascorbic acid in it for additional brightening as well, which is super high for a toner. Like 1% of pure ascorbic acid is not insignificant. So that is a good one to look out for. It's also going to be probably fine for sensitive skin because 1%, anything under about 5% L-ascorbic acid can generally be tolerated by most skin types. So that's a good one to look out for. Now, my second product that I'm going to introduce you guys to is an essence, and this is Tosuong's Propolis Brightening Essence. So the key ingredient in that is obviously propolis, which is a type of bee resin, and this is just a really great lightweight essence for actively brightening, repairing, and soothing irritated skin. So I'm going to pop all of these product names in the show notes for today. So don't worry about writing them down. I will have them there for you. So if you are wanting to find the links to any of these, they will all be in the show notes for today. Now on to some serums that I am loving. So Applebee, which is one of my new favorite brands, I think, has one serum that I'm really, really loving, and that is their glutathione serum. So I think I already spoke about glutathione. It's an excellent ingredient for minimizing and preventing dark spots. And the serum, the way they've formulated the serum, it's really beautiful. It's hydrating as well. So that's a good one to look out for. D'Alba Piedmont also has their white truffle intensive ampoule, and it is just so luxurious. They've combined Italian white truffle extract and caviar, if you will, to provide nourishment and hydration to the skin. So even it just conjures up all sorts of images. It's a beautiful product. If your skin is looking a little bit dull, dark, or patchy, then this one is a really, really beautiful serum. It's great for anti-aging. And then a couple of moisturizers that you guys might like to check out. Applebee has a glutathione brightening tone-up cream, which is perfect for mornings. And the way I wear mine is basically in place of my moisturizer of a morning, and it gives you a really great base, particularly if you're going to go and put makeup over the top. Plus, it actually has active ingredients in there that are going to actually help your skin. So that's a really great one. Tosuong has a beautiful spot whitening cream that is full of sea buckthorn, which is another great ingredient for pigmentation, dull skin. And Tosuong's formula is just so hydrating. It's full of vitamins and minerals. So that is a really beautiful one. So I would love to know if you guys have some ingredients or products or things like that that you have tried and tested for your brightening. If you do, please let me know what they are, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. If you've made it this far, hopefully that means you've liked it. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes. Don't forget to leave me a rating and a review while you're there. And if you want to say hi, head on over to Instagram at lauren.kbeauty and leave me a DM. Until next time.